Parla l'inglese magicamente.
Speak English magically.
Hello, and thank you very much for being here for another video about my journey with this course, Speak English Magically. It's been a couple of weeks that I have started pretending that I am a student of this course, so I'm using it every day, applying different steps every day to the same lesson. It's been let's say 8-9 days that I've been on the very first lesson of the course. I've applied all the steps that are suggested in the book, but I'd love to read a little sentence that it's written in the introduction, and it is this: be creative and find new and different ways to review the lessons. Well, over the years, I've come with several different ways to review the same lesson in an active way and in a way that it's interesting and maybe a little challenge for me. And the step that I'm going to suggest you today, and I promise it's the last one before moving on to the second lesson, it's a step that may require that you have external feedback by someone who speaks English very well or is a mother tongue speaker. As you may know, I don't teach English to Italians. I've just written these books that are an adaptation of my other books where I teach Italian to foreigners. And I usually teach Italian to foreigners and not English to Italians because I'm not a mother tongue speaker. You may need someone who knows English or can give you feedback with this step that I'm going to talk about in a short while. So please consider it optional, and in case you decide to apply this step too, you may call it transformation. Why transformation? Because the texts and the audios that you'll find in this text are written and are created as if someone is talking to me, and the goal is to transform the text as if I am talking to someone else, and this way I'll have a lot of consequences on the texts and I'll learn the English grammar in an indirect way. Although you may have noticed that there aren't any rules in this book, you may apply this step, especially if you have external feedback, to learn grammar in an indirect way. But I'll show it to you. I'll mostly transform the text from the second person to the first person, but of course there are cases in which this may not apply properly. So I'll have to transform it accordingly. But let me do it. Let me show it to you. I'll take the page 47 where it is I speak English very well, episode 1, English only, and I'll start reading the text, but transforming it at the same time. I'll do it right now. I won't talk anymore. Please stick with me. Am I ready to relax and acquire English now? If my answer is yes, I imagine that you are just right there and you ask me, can you let your mind remind you of a place, a moment of your life where you felt so pleasantly relaxed that you wouldn't move for anything in the world? So it could be like that if I wanted to transform this text. Can I let my mind remind me of a place, a moment of my life where I felt so pleasantly relaxed that I wouldn't move for anything in the world? I think about it for a moment. What's my place? What's my special moment? And of course, I can go on with the old text, and I can enjoy applying these differences, these transformations to the old text. I think it's a wonderful exercise. It's optional and you may need external feedback, but if you feel like, do it and enjoy learning English as much as I am doing right now. I promise that tomorrow, on the next video, we'll start with the second lesson of this course titled Speak English Magically. Bye! I'll see you soon!